in this event today, and I want to thank everyone, Dr. Preeta Reddy, Sangeeta Reddy, Dr. Anapan Sabal, Dr. Hari, it's nice to see you. We had a conversation recently, and seeing you on this call is very good as well. Also, Dr. Kochar and I, who share seats at the table of ISQA, and obviously Gaurav, Loria, who's one of our surveyors. I feel very comfortable. I'm with family, friends, longtime friends today. And that's very comforting at a time like this. I was especially pleased we were having this event in the midst of the COVID pandemic. I think when we are able to continue to have education events and celebrations such as this, it speaks to our resilience as human beings, and it also gives me hope for the future that we're all going to come out of this stronger. We're very proud of the work that we've done in India. We've been in India, as we said, for 15 years, starting with the hospital in 2005, Indira Prastha Apollo Hospital, 2005. And today we have 31 hospitals in India and 4 ambulatory care centers. And we're very eager to see that number continue to grow. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But I always like to start a little bit with history when we talk about looking at the future. And really, we're 15 years in India, but globally, accreditation has existed in some form for about 108 years, almost 110 years now. And it started with a surgeon, Ernest Codman, in the United States, and what was to become the American College of Surgery. As surgery developed as a practice, they wanted to know that they had a safe and competent physical place, the hospital itself. They wanted assurances as surgeons that it was safe to do surgery, and how would they know that? And that was the beginning of what we see today. Dr. Codman invented and started with 5 standards and started the on-site surgery. 70 years, and then that grew over years, over many years, until 1951, when the Joint Commission was formed. That's the American company and the part that JCI is a part of. And we will be 70 years old as a company in 2021. Joint Commission International started 20 years ago, so Apollo was within the first 5 years of our beginning. Our first survey was in 1999, and we celebrated our 20th anniversary last year. And 15 years, as I said, in India. So a lot of history there, and it's interesting to look back as we learn from what our history is. But while it's important, the future is also very, very important. And as we think about it, the survey that was done in 1912 versus the survey that was started 70 years ago, the one that we did 20 years ago for the first time, even the survey that we did 15 years ago is very different than the one we do today. But I think that the next 5 years, and next decade especially, things will change an awful lot more than they have in the first 108 years. Over the last 5 months, like so many organizations, hospitals, and otherwise, we've had to pivot very quickly to be able to continue to work during the global pandemic. We were lucky. Because of security issues in different countries where we work, we have experience and a depth of talent working remotely. So this is a period now where we're doing a lot of virtual surveys, like the one we did at the Apollo Proton Cancer Center. We did that in Chennai in July. And by the way, that was a huge benchmark for all of us, for Apollo, for JCI. It was one of the biggest hospitals we've ever done remotely on a virtual basis. It's the only cancer hospital we've ever done like that, and it went really, really, real well. And I'm very, very proud of my team. We're so proud of our relationship with Apollo and how we did that together. And so we know we can do this. We are lucky that we've been able to have that experience, and we were prepared to do that survey, which speaks to the resilience and the flexibility of JCI. We've been very limited, as you know, and everybody has, in terms of doing our normal business. But we're using this time to reflect on how we're doing, what we're doing well, and how do we do better? How do we increase the impact of accreditation on patient safety and quality? We're trying to maintain our workforce as much as possible because we know we're going to go back to work. And so while the surveyors and the consultants have not had a lot of travel time, they've been assigned to all different projects with the central office staff. And so some of the things we've worked on and are having some productivity already, we have a team working on performance measurement, for example. And I think by the end of this year, we will launch a pilot that will allow the internationally accredited hospitals who are using electronic health records and electronic measures. They're going to be able to share the platform that the United States uses for the measurement program here in the US. It's a very, very high level performance measure program. A lot of hospitals like yours are interested in pushing and going further with measurement. A lot of organizations want to be able to compare to other hospitals in their market, as well as hospitals around the world and including the United States. So this time has not been idle for us. We've made some good progress on that. I've had another group working on the network and system certifications and accreditations. And I think we're going to be prepared to deliver some of that in 2021. And I know that's something of interest to Apollo. And then a third team has the assignment of reimagining accreditation, which is kind of everything is on the table. Think about everything, question everything, and how to use technology to make us not only more efficient, but more having a much more rigorous and insightful kind of evaluation. And so that's been a lot of fun. That's going to be an ongoing kind of activity as new things happen at JCI. But we're questioning everything. So why do we have a 3-year cycle? How else can we engage? How could we have a continuous engagement with organizations? How do we make this accreditation process more impactful and less expensive? Because I think that is going to be critical for us from a future perspective, and particularly in places like India where there is a lot of price sensitivity. So all of those things are going on now and keeping us busy. Also looking at how do we think about the electronic health record? How much does that present an opportunity for us in terms of how we do the accreditation? So all of these questions, all of these initiatives, all of these projects, they're going to require some focus and attention. And one thing I wanted to let you know today, and this is not a formal announcement, but kind of I'm giving you a heads up, that beginning in September, we have a new vice president coming on board to be the vice president of Joint Commission International Accreditation. That position's been vacant as we did the search. And so a new physician will be on the team September 14th, and his responsibility will be to drive a lot of the innovation and new things and new projects that we're working on. A formal press release will be available. I'm really not supposed to be talking about it, but we're friends. And I didn't want to leave that out as I spoke to you today. As far as our future in India, and Dr. Anupam Sibal and I have talked about this a lot. How do we get bigger in India? I do think it's a challenge for us. And the challenge really is a US-based company with enormous overhead. We're not a small company when you look at the whole thing. And all of that is good. It's part of our strength. And a survey method that requires travel, which is expensive, all of that has limited our growth in a price-sensitive market. But I think that if we think about a completely kind of model and a different way of approaching the country, and maybe we have 2 different kinds of products, that's one of the things we're looking at. But I think that we have the talent within India, certainly within our company and in India, with organizations like Apollo, with organizations like NABH that also have an interest in all of this, that some type of collaborative discussion and some type of sharing of information and learning, I think there is a great, great opportunity for JCI to work and expand its work in India. And I'm optimistic about that because of all of those relationships and friendships that we have and the experience that we've had. But I'm really optimistic because really all of the accreditation models, it doesn't matter who the organization is, the standards, the method, all of that, the single driver that's most important to quality and safety is leadership. And you at Apollo are blessed with an incredible leadership team that drives that drumbeat every day of the importance of the patient and the safety and quality of the care. So I know that you have what we need in order to continue to grow and be a better presence in the healthcare arena in India. So thank you again for inviting me to be a part of this. I'm really, it's just fun, and it's great to see everybody. And I'm looking forward to our continued relationship and conversation. Thank you.